it is different because we haven't seen this level of violence in decades here in France. I think it is indeed important to remind everyone that the French like to take the streets at the end of the day to a certain extent, but normally it doesn't get this violent. And even here, the majority of the yellow vest protesters aren't violent. It's a few hundred people in Paris that went a bit extreme, and in a few cities across the country, but ultimately it's not a violent movement, but the government now really is under pressure to react.
Now, I want to pick up on that point about the pressure facing the government. What is really at stake here for President Macron? He doesn't face re-election until 2022, so what's really at stake here?
I guess it is his capacity over the next few months and years until the end of his presidency to really push further reform, because he does have a really ambitious reform agenda and he does have a majority in parliament to do it. But obviously, if he's under increasing pressure like he is right now, he might reconsider. I don't think this is at stake immediately, but ultimately, if the pressure continues to be high, that will be at stake.
And it wasn't long ago that we saw resignations, a series of resignations from the French government, and the cabinet reshuffle back in October. What is the sense now in terms of the view within the government towards these protests? Is it a unified government at this point?
I think it is at this stage, also because nobody has specific responsibility for what is happening now. Obviously, it was fueled by the increase in fuel prices, but at the end of the day, there's no single minister responsible for these protests. So I think the government is unified at this stage, and the real challenge will be to find an answer that satisfies these protesters.
It seems like quite a challenge for Macron to find a solution that satisfies various groups. But also, Macron has been a very vocal proponent of further EU integration. Does Macron's weakened position here at home in France change or impede his ability to push his EU agenda?
I don't think at this stage, because he's not being criticized at home for what he's doing at the EU level or on the international stage. I think at the end of the day, the French are very proud of having a visible president on the international and European scene, so it shouldn't put him under pressure there at this stage.
And there's already been rumblings of copycat movements in Belgium and a few other places. What are the chances that this does have wider ramifications for other European states?
I guess what's specific to this movement is that it is relatively apolitical, so they are not protesters from one specific party, from the left or from the right. They're middle-class white people that are squeezed, let's say, by the welfare state because they pay a lot of taxes, but they don't get a lot of benefits in return. And I guess if there are other people in other European countries that face these same challenges, then obviously it could become a bigger movement.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.